Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. We come in each week and we talk to different organizations about what they're doing and how they affect our communities in the surrounding area. And we do appreciate all the organizations. It takes a lot of volunteers to make most of these organizations function. And all those volunteers are very important to the success of those organizations as well. Stay with us, be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a couple of young ladies from the Ozark Humane Society and a special guest that came with us.
Inland Waste Solutions works diligently to be good stewards of the environment. Reducing waste via curbside recycling services, Inland Waste Solutions takes this mission seriously, but they need your help. When putting your waste and recyclables in their respective curbside containers, be sure that cross-contamination doesn't occur. Please only place recyclable materials in the yellow top bins. Check your recycling do's and don'ts list before you throw any item into the yellow top recycle bin. Together we can make a difference. Inland Waste Solutions, local people serving local people in Harrison.
Plants, plants, and more plants. That's what you'll find at Camp's Plants in Harrison. Perennials, annuals, ferns, hanging baskets, shrubs, roses, decorative trees, and the largest selection of garden vegetables in the area. With different varieties arriving weekly, you're sure to find the perfect plant, shrub, or tree at the best price in the area. Camp's Plants in business for over 33 years in Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests in the studio today comes from the Ozark Humane Society. We've had them with us before. Kay Waters and Robin Arnold are both here, and their special guest is Pippi. And Pippi's taking a nap right now, ladies.
Pippi is very cool on the set.
What a nice dog.
Very relaxed.
She's good under pressure.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Tell you, she would make somebody a wonderful pet.
Yes.
I mean, she is so, a lot of times when you're around strangers, like coming in here, a different environment. They get a little nervous or, she doesn't even, no big deal. It's like hanging out at the house.
That's right. I think it's partly because she's with her friend Robin.
Robin does a great job with these.
She does.
She's amazing. And
yes,
you can tell the love of these animals. It shows, doesn't it?
It does. It shows every time Robin's with them.
Yeah,
so.
it does. Well, we're glad to have both of you here again today. And of course, the Ozark Humane Society, for those of you in the Harrison surrounding area, right here in the Harrison, Boone County area, it's been there for a long time and in much need of a new facility, and hopefully someday they'll have a new facility, bigger, better. But right now they're having to deal with what they have, and it is important, of course, for your donations and for your volunteer help to keep it going out there. And boy, they serve a great purpose. The one thing, and I was trying to think, and of course through the years I've had so many different people here, but the Humane Society here, the Ozark Humane Society, went from a no-kill facility years ago, didn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
I believe it's been probably close to 8 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking about 10 years ago.
Right, exactly. And we do adopt out many of our what we call our long-term dogs. And it's quite a celebration when we do that, because we've gotten to know those animals so well. And adopting a long-term shelter dog is a special project, and it does take a special family or people to do that. But we have them, and we're very pleased when that happens. It's great.
Let me ask you a question. I know there's some states, particularly like in the Northeast, that have very strict laws when it comes to spay and neutering the animals there, which means they don't have as much problem with stray animals or and so forth. Do you get a chance to send any animals much to that area or to different places?
There are some rescues in this area that do that, and it's something that we have wanted to start looking into and want to pursue. It requires some special volunteering and help to look into who the new owners will be in that part of the country, but there are there are some rescues that do that here, and they do it quite successfully, I think.
Okay.
So we're very open to talking to them. It's just the time that it takes to find out.
Yeah.
But we have a couple of sources we're going to go to see if we might be able to do that with some of our animals.
I believe it's been several years. I can't remember, but I spoke with some people back maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I can't recall the name of them. Homeward Bound maybe was the name of it.
Yes, Homeward Bound is one of the rescues in the area that does send their animals, I believe, out of state for the most part, through the internet and through calls and getting to know who the people are. And they manage most of their animals, I believe. I hope I'm not talking out of turn here because I don't speak with them very frequently, but through fostering.
Yes, that's exactly right.
As opposed to a facility
That's
such
exactly
as ours,
right.
correct.
Yeah. In fact, some of the key people there, when you talk about fostering, some of the key people are keeping several at their own residence because they want to keep them in good health and so forth until they hopefully can find a home, permanent home.
Exactly, and that's a way to approach, and I think it's a really positive way to approach. I think any dog in foster is probably more conducive to going to a new home because it's used to people and different people, and it's been acclimatized to houses and that kind of thing. So we'd love to look into more of that, and that's one of our goals amongst the crowd of us that are trying to do 12 things at once. So,
I started to say, you've got all you can do right now out there, so you do a wonderful job with what you get. Let's talk a little bit, I'll let you kind of get into it. Anything and we're going to talk about your fundraiser, which has started today, but what else you got there you want to talk about? I mean, like, for instance, your thrift store.
Well, we always, of course, are looking for people this time of the year. It tends to be house cleaning, if you will. We jumped right into summer, but hopefully some people are still doing their spring and summer cleaning. Whenever they get through a lot of their clothes or things they're not wearing anymore, or household items they're not using anymore, we always want to request that they bring those items to Cause for Paws, which is our thrift shop. Our thrift shop supports our shelter. A good, probably 98% of our funding comes from that thrift store. So one of the easiest ways to support the Ozark Humane Society and help yourself at the same time is to take those items that you want to get rid of that you haven't used or haven't worn in a couple of years or a year, household items you haven't used, tools you haven't used, just about anything that you have when you're cleaning out your garage or your house, bring it to Cause for Paws, and that will take in what you don't want, and we manage to sell it and make some really decent support dollars for the shelter. And
actually, Cause for Paws thrift store, it's easy to get to. It's right on Crandall, right off the bypass there, next to Liquidation Outlet. And they have a really nice store. They well managed. Volunteers obviously do a fantastic job. I've taken many times things there, and you can just back right up to the door. They'll come and take them, and they have a lot of great clothing. They have different household type items. You never know what you're going to find. Television set here, coffee makers, electronics, furniture, baby fixtures of different things, baby beds and strollers and that kind of. So go down and help them. They could use your help, and it is a big profit center for them. And as Kay says, I mean, 98% of their funding. That's very important.
I would like to add, if I may, on that, that there are some other stores in the area now that are competing with not just our store, but Share and Care and that. And I would want to just point out that all of the donations that we get go to support a local shelter. They go to support a local entity. They don't leave the area, and it's so important to please support the local thrift stores, because that really does involve people at a grassroots level that you won't see at a larger national thrift store.
Well put.
Yes.
Well put.
Thank you for allowing me to put that in.
Well, and people
it's very important.
People do know what she's talking about there. Recently, a facility came in, and they are a national chain, and they do a good job for what they're supposed to do. But when it comes to donations of this type of thing, if you can give it to one of the local thrift stores, it will all stay right here in your community, and it serves the purpose, whether it's for the homeless, whether it's for the pets, or whatever it's going for. It's a great cause, so we'll just leave it with that. Funding obviously comes from the thrift store. Donations are made. What if somebody out wanted to take dog treats, can they bring that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. We take all dog treats.
Welcome it.
We welcome it. Our dogs welcome it. We also take food donations. We take cleaning donations for cleaning goods and that, because we have to keep our shelter clean, and we have all the things you'd have at a home to clean out there, along with the kennels that we use special chemicals in that we can't get donated. But you know, we need anything like that. We also sometimes give our donated food to folks that maybe can't afford to buy their dog food that month. We offer that to out of our thrift shop as well as out at the shelter. We occasionally have people that come in and ask us because perhaps they're having a rough month financially and they have an animal, and they know that we will help them if they need help. So we do take food donations, treat donations. The dogs at the shelter love pepperonis, so anytime you want to give those, right. So.
We've talked about a lot of stuff, so I don't want to forget. Let's talk about your $10 for a Friend program.
Well, we're doing our annual 10 for a Friend fundraiser. We do 3 key fundraisers a year to help augment the funds that we get from our thrift store. As I said, the thrift store generates a good 95–98% of our dollars, but we still need to augment that, because if the air conditioner breaks, which is one of the things we're going through now, or the heater doesn't work or something like that, that's over and above our regular budget. So we try to find ways to raise extra funds that way, and that's what 10 for a Friend does. It helps us with our budget to meet those unexpected requirements that we have to have. It's this week, starting basically today, and running through next weekend. We'll take donations anytime you want to give them, obviously, but 10 for a Friend is important because we'll be working at the Walmart with volunteers there both Friday and Saturday at the doors. We'll be working at Hudson's on Saturdays with some of our volunteers at the door and inside there. We'll also be at Crawdad Days. Robin's going to be there managing one of our booths down there, and she's going to have some adoptable pets, dogs, and down there, and puppies down there to talk about on that Saturday, the 19th. So it's kind of an all fronts effort, and it just is something that we do every year to remind people we're out there, to get the extra funds, and to donate online if they can. At our Facebook page, we have a donate button there. Or our P.O. Box is 542 Harrison. A check can be sent to that address as well. So the funds are used very frugally. We examine every expense carefully. We welcome questions about any of that to any of our public, because we're asking you to donate to us. So we want you to know that we're responsible, and we take all of that, we take the dollars that are given to us from good-hearted people very seriously and spend them very frugally. So we want everyone to know that. And
that's great.
Yeah, so that's what our 10 for a Friend thing is. So look for us around town this next week.
All right.
And look for us on Facebook. And we also have a few things coming up.
Got about a minute.
Okay.
Be quick.
One other thing I would mention that we do that's important to the community is spay-neuter clinics.
Yes.
And we have our next spay-neuter clinic is in July. It's July 17, 18, 19, with registration the week before at the Cause for Paws thrift store. That's a very important mission for us because we want to try to offset the feral cat issue in Harrison, as well as unwanted puppies and kittens. And we help take care of that through that.
That's a very important thing.
Yes.
You guys do a fantastic job. And Robin Arnold, you can see, she brought one of those really dangerous animals from the shelter.
She's a handful.
Pippi would be a great pet for somebody. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for all your hard work, for your volunteerism, and then just your sincere the way you take care of these animals. It's I'm an animal lover myself, but if I didn't have a cat, I'd probably take that dog, but they'd probably chase each other.
Thank you, Dennis, for the opportunity.
Well.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. Don't forget the Ozark Humane Society, $10 for a Friend going on right now. $10 goes a long way when it comes to the Humane Society. Stay with us, be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a young lady about all the things going on at the Senior Center here in Harrison. Be back in a moment.
We all need the help of a pharmacy from time to time. Sullivan Pharmacy would like to thank all their customers for supporting them as an independent local pharmacy. When you trade with an independent pharmacy, you deal with an owner that supports the local economy and charities. Visit Sullivan Pharmacy for any of your over-the-counter or prescription needs. It's important to keep helping those that help the community. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 Main Street, Harrison, serving this area since 1965.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
From the makers of the best-selling Yamaha Grizzly and Kodiak 700 comes the all-new Kodiak 450, the world's only midsize ATV with Yamaha-proven off-road capability, all-day comfort, and confidence-inspired performance. The all-new Kodiak 450, starting at just $59.99.
Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Polaris has a razor to match your passion. Unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Everything you need to chase memories and catch them. Find your razor at Polaris.com.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio comes in quite often to see us, Chris Kendall, the director of the Boone County Wellness.
Boone County Senior Activity and Wellness Center.
That's a long one, isn't it?
It is.
I always call it the Boone County Activity Center, so that kind of covers it all. Do appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much for coming in to see us this week. Let's talk a little bit about May. What's going on in May,
May.
at the Senior Center?
May is a busy month again. We always have so much going on for our seniors to do. It's never a dull moment if you look. We always have the congregate meal every day, Monday through Friday, and that's from 11 to 12:30. And then we have exercise classes in the mornings and activities going on throughout the day, and bingo on Thursdays, and we've started bunco on Tuesday nights, and it's just, there's lots of things to do at the center. Pitching dominoes, something for everyone.
One thing, right before we started the show, I asked Chris, I said, so any particular day during the week, do you have more seniors than other days, other than the activity part of it? She said, depends on the meal. So you do have some people that like certain meals more than others, and if you have meatloaf and they're into meatloaf, you got more people, or brisket or something like that. So it does matter what you have. It
does, yes. Our menu matters, and we're very conscious about our menu as well. It is nutritionally balanced. It's 1/3 of the recommended daily intake for seniors, so that it covers their nutritional needs for that day and for that lunch.
Oh, that's
and it's always looked over by a dietitian. If we substitute anything, then we have to have it approved by that dietitian to make sure that we're still meeting the dietary needs of the seniors.
Wow.
We cook it low sodium. We use low sodium salt or gravies and meats and things like that to be heart healthy. But then and we don't, we have salt shakers on the table. So if you like salt in your meal and you choose to have it, then you can.
Sure.
But we keep it low sodium for those who aren't allowed to have the salt or who just don't care for the salt. So that's, and we watch the calories. We make sure that it is enough calories for one meal to cover, so that the senior is getting enough calories for that one meal as well.
Wow.
So.
I didn't have the opportunity to go over there, but last Friday they had the senior games over at the football stadium at the high school. And how did that go? Did you have a good turnout this year?
It went well. You know, we had quite a few seniors. We had over 200 that were signed up for the games. And
wow.
So, yeah, you know, we always start off with an opening ceremony and then, you know, and then let the games begin. And, you know, there's skip-bo and dominoes tournament, and they do javelin and shot put and all kinds of walks and runs. And that is all organized by Angie Dunlap over at the Area Agency on Aging, and you know, they have several sponsors that have helped with that. And I'm sorry I don't have the list of sponsors that they had, but you know, a big shout out to all those sponsors that did help with the senior games, and you know, to help us make it a success. It was a lot of fun.
I had a good day.
Yes.
I was asking about some of the seniors that go to the activity center, but and Chris was talking about some of the ages. What was do you know the oldest that you had participating in the games? Do you keep up with that?
Angie does.
She does. Okay.
But yeah, I'm
sure.
sorry, I can't tell you.
That's okay.
I know they were in their 90s.
Yes, I knew they always have some and pretty active.
Yes.
You know, if you're talking about people 90 years old that are still in good enough health to participate in some of these activities, particularly the games, that's we'd all like to be there at some point in time.
Yes.
So that's fantastic.
We have our Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program sign up this Friday. It's coming up this Friday at the Senior Center, and that is going to be, I believe, from 9 until noon.
Now, what is that? What did they do?
They have to bring in a proof of ID, a proof of income, and they have to meet a certain income level.
Okay.
But they get a $50 coupon to use at the farmers market here in Harrison.
Nice.
And I think there's other farmers market that participated in it as well. But they just come into the senior center, and there's care coordinators there from Area Agency on Aging that will sign them up for this nutrition program.
Nice.
And they get a $50 coupon book. If someone wants to sign up for it but is not able to come to the senior center and isn't able to shop for themselves, then they can assign a proxy, and that's just an additional form that they would have to have filled out and you know, have on file for the senior center to let the farmers market know that it's okay for this person to pick those up for them.
As a representative. Well, that's a great program.
It is.
I didn't know that they had that program involved.
Yes.
Well, you still have a lot going on here. Let's talk
about
some of these.
We do. We have our second annual Touch-A-Truck coming up this Saturday. I'm so excited about it. Last year we did it, and it was great. The kids just had a blast, and you know, one of the pictures that we have on the flyer is one of the little boys that came in, and you know, I asked his mom and dad, is it okay to use this picture for our flyers and our newsletter? And they said it was all right. And you know, he just climbed up in that cab, and he was just having a good old time, just pretending he was driving. And we have the police and the fire department and the ambulance service. They bring they bring a truck out for the kids to see and to climb up in. And you know, if you ever wondered, hey, what's that thingamabob on that fire truck? You know, you normally don't get a chance to ask them that, because they're either on their way to an emergency or they're helping you with an emergency. You know, there's always something going on, and so this gives them an opportunity to explain what equipment that they use and you know, what that thingamabob is on the on the fire truck. We'll also have I spoke with Judge Hathaway from the county, and he is going to have a dump truck and a road grader and a little mini excavator there for us to have on display. Larry Davis Construction is going to have some equipment there. We'll have the trolley and a school bus, and the Army Reserve is going to bring over an armored personnel carrier, and the kids just loved it last year. It was our crowd favorite last year. We put a little box beside each piece of equipment, and the crowd votes for their favorite. It's a penny per vote, and so they just drop a penny or $1 or $10 or however much you want to vote for that piece of equipment. Drop it into the box, and we'll count that at the end of the day, and someone's going to be awarded the crowd favorite and get to take a plaque back to their back with them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You had the air evac, I think, last year.
We had requested the air evac last year. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come, but This year, we have requested it again, and as long as there isn't an emergency, and Block's Body Shop or Block's Towing is another one that has agreed to be there.
Well,
of course,
good.
with all of these emergency vehicles, if there is an emergency, if dispatch calls, of course they have to go, and so please don't be upset if we say Aerovac's going to be there and they're out doing what they need to do. So
most of the time, people understand that type of thing.
That will be we suggest a $5 donation for for entering and just coming in and playing.
Okay.
And it's either $5 per person or $20 per family of 5 or more.
Okay.
I understand that a lot of folks have large families, and so we don't want them to miss out on this fun event. It's going to be a lot of fun. It will be at the Senior Center.
Okay. We got about 4 minutes, so let's move on through the. I know you got the volunteer thing.
Sure. Volunteer appreciation. We have that on May 23rd. We're going to have beef brisket for lunch, and we want everybody to come out and help us to let the volunteers know how much we appreciate them.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a yard sale coming up June 1st and 2nd, and so we're asking for donations for that. We accept any good used items and clothes as well, and so that yard sale's coming up. Along with the Touch-A-Truck, we're doing a golf ball drop. And we have the golf balls on sale for $5 each. And so you come by the Senior Center, or you can get your golf ball the day of the Touch-A-Truck as well. That's only $5 for a chance to win up to $200. It'll be a minimum of $100, but if we sell enough tickets, we'll do a $200 prize. And
fantastic.
We did give away $200 last year.
That's great.
We also have a TV that we're raffling. That's also $5 or 5 tickets for $20, and that will be given away May 31st. And so you still have a little bit of time to get tickets for that, and there again, come by the Senior Center, we'll get tickets for you. We're going to the casino again this month, and I'm working on setting up a hike. I had a few seniors to request going on a hike this month, and so I'm working with the Park Service so that we can go on a hike and have a guided tour, and someone on hand to just kind of give us a nature talk and explain some things about the place that we choose to go to, and more details coming soon.
That sounds like fun.
Yes.
Well, you always have a lot going on. We won't even get into June because you'll have to come. You'll have to come back and talk to us about June because they have so many things going on.
Yes.
Of course, they always need volunteers. You haven't mentioned that,
yes.
But volunteers always needed at the seniors, and it doesn't matter. If you only have a couple hours you can donate, they'll take it. Meals on Wheels, big deal. They really need help with their Meals on Wheels program. And how many people you touch in Boone County?
Well, I can't give you an exact number of
Roughly.
how many people, but we served 36,000 meals, home-delivered meals in 2016-2017
Wow.
year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I over 100 a day.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot.
It is.
That helps a lot of seniors out there
It
too.
does.
And the nutrition program is very important to them. So
it is.
we do appreciate it. Well, we hope you get all of these events in, and we hope you're successful with them.
Yes.
Keep up the good work at the Senior Center. If you haven't been out there, if you're a senior or if you're not a senior, go out there and check it out sometime. It's a lot of fun. They have great food, and the camaraderie is just unbelievable. Chris, we'll be looking forward to talking to you 1st of June, and we'll move on into the summer months, see what's going on at the Senior Center.
Sure, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We'd like to tell you our reason for raising the minimum legal sale age of tobacco products from 18 to 21.
We will not be Big Tobacco's replacements for those who die each and every day from tobacco-related illnesses.
18 and 19-year-old tobacco users are a major supplier of tobacco products for younger youth.
Raising the legal age to purchase tobacco or nicotine products to 21 eliminates access to those suppliers, giving us a brighter future, a tobacco-free future.
We are loud and proud, and we will define our own future. For more information, visit sosprojectprevent.com.
This message is brought to you by your Master Tobacco settlement dollars at work.